Good afternoon, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So I'm on lunch right now, and I tell you, I had to come out here and give you this information because things are changing so fast. Now, I just did a video about lumber and building supplies just yesterday, but like I said, things are changing so fast. I just feel that I got to come out here and give you the information just as soon as I come across it. Now, over the course of the last few months, the industry has been really disrupted. I mean, just to say the least. And trying to work through like ultra high lumber prices and shortages of all kinds of building materials. Nobody knows when things are coming in as far as like availability, like trims. Like a lot of times 5/4x4 is something that shouldn't always be accessible. But right now, it's like a hit and miss on whether or not you're going to get stuff like this in. Now, just to kind of give you an idea on how long of a lead time there is, there was a time when I could order vinyl windows, just your standard vinyl window, nothing special about it. It would take around 10 days from the time I ordered it to the time I would see it. We just ordered some windows and got the confirmation in. One of the other salesperson came to me and says, "Holy moly, look at the ETA on this order that I just placed." And I said, "What is it, about 2 months out, 2.5 months?" And they said, "Here, try again." So we placed this order last week, Friday. So that would have been like the 18th, 17th, I believe the 17th is when the order was placed. The ETA on this isn't until March 2nd. This is not a special window. This is just a picture window with a vinyl frame around it. Very standard, nothing special about this thing. And we will not see it for over 3 months. Now this got me thinking, like, how far out does a builder have to be ordering their windows in order to have their project moving forward in a consistent manner? Like, it's all about progression into the project. And generally, when you order your windows, like prior to all the shortages and everything that took place, typically you would want to order your windows about 2-3 weeks before you really wanted them. So as the guys are in their framing, you can go in there and say, okay, well, we're about ready to get to the roof. Let's go ahead and order the windows in. It should be just in time. Right? That's kind of like, I mean, some guys might do it a lot faster. Other guys are a little slower. But, generally you get to a certain stage in the project and then you order the next part. In order for your windows to be on this job site in time for you to install it so that the project can continue going forward, you would have to order these windows like when you get the permit. Like it used to be, as the shortages were increasing, I was telling guys like, hey, you might want to order your windows when you're pouring the foundation. Make sure you double check the sizes that you're framing and the sizes that we ordered, that everything corresponds, because we can't afford to make a mistake. There is no expediting an order. So if a couple of windows are incorrect and you need to wait for new ones, that's going to postpone the project for 3 months right now. I mean, before it would be in just a couple of months, which is bad enough, but now it's going to be 3 months out. So I got to talking to some of the other guys about this, and I'm like, okay, so what's happening here with the building industry? Because you see a lot of permits being issued, but go and take a look at the completions. I'll go and try and find a link to share with you guys as far as starts versus completions, or even permits versus completions. And you'll see that there's a rise in permits and starts, but there's like a lag, like it's topping out, maybe even dropping down a little bit on the completions. And that makes a lot of sense considering some of the things that I'm experiencing right now. And so I just take these vinyl windows as an example of how much of a delay into completion of projects there are right now, considering that vinyl windows are now 3 months away. I mean, just try and understand the logistics behind something like this. It's going to be very difficult for the completion of homes to continue on going into the future, at least until either builders get adjusted to the way the logistics are going to work, where they order windows when they're getting their permits, or we just find that completions start lagging and we just have less inventory in homes due to the fact that they're almost impossible to complete right now in a realistic fashion comparatively to what it used to be, prior to the whole COVID shutdowns and all that. It's really weird to think about, what it is gonna be like going into the future, because you think like if there's a lack of homes, like a lack of inventory, that's gonna drive the prices up, right? I mean, supply and demand. At the same time, the Federal Reserve's talking about raising interest rates, backing out on the mortgage-backed securities, thinking that if this is going to happen, this monetary tightening, what kind of repercussions would this have going into the industry? I mean, if there is a lack of availability and the demand is still high and the interest rates go up, people will pay. I mean, they will find somebody to buy a house. I mean, I guarantee it will happen. And you just have to look at like Canada. I mean, there's little doubt in my mind that they can force, or that higher prices can be forced upon the people. I wouldn't say that they are doing it, or because of course we all have our own theories on they, but I just think about like what kind of condition this could produce going into the future if there is this lack of available homes coming onto the market due to the difficulties and completions. I mean, I can only assume that's just going to keep the real estate market going. And now we already know from the Federal Reserve statements that a functioning mortgage market is critical for their monetary policy. So there is no way that, and that's another thing, like so many people are talking about when the foreclosures kick in, when they have the wave of foreclosures, or when the housing market takes a downturn, when everybody is anticipating it, I have less of a belief that it's going to happen. Like, if people are anticipating something coming, then they prepare themselves for it. You see, like, it's when something hits them in a shock that they're not ready for, that's when the real turmoil kicks in. But as far as right now, I see a housing crisis starting. I see a housing crisis starting due to the fact that it's getting more difficult to complete homes. And I do not see that backing off anytime soon. Like, when I start seeing those vinyl windows, when the lead times on those start coming back down to something that's more realistic, not over 3 months away, then I'll believe that the inventory of homes would probably begin to increase. At that point, who knows what the real estate market's going to look like? Because we may find that all of a sudden there's a flood of homes coming onto the market, where all of a sudden a bunch of completed homes just all of a sudden start taking place all at once. I mean, you think about it, something kind of similar could happen inside of the auto industry too. I mean, they have like all these vehicles that have been built, but they're just waiting on a particular part to complete them. Well, what if that particular part, or the things that they are needing in order to get these vehicles moving or get them completed, starts flooding in all at the same time? There could be a flood of vehicles that come onto the market all at once. I think something like that could very well happen within the housing industry as well. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys that update on the vinyl windows, because like I said, when I see information that I think is critical, I want to come out here and let you guys know right away. I mean, I would love to tell you guys like how long the lumber prices are going to continue to go up, or how high they're going to go. I can tell you now that the real retail lumber prices are going to go up. They are going up from here. So if you need to get some 2x4s or plywood, I would not hesitate for any length of time. Because right now, put it this way. Right now on the futures market, lumber is at $1,000 per thousand. That makes a 2x4 8-foot standard and better around $5.33. Just kind of ballparking it, $5.33. I'm selling 2x4 8s right now for $5.09. So they're more expensive on the future market right now than I am selling retail. Give it just a little bit of time, and I'm sure that retail price is going to be much higher than it is today. So if you need 2x4s, go get them. Go get them right now and store them. If you need them in 6 months, you might want to wait. You might want to wait a little bit. But if you need them in the next, I would say 2 months, I would not hesitate. I mean, the prices are going to go up from here, and some availability is starting to become harder to find. Like I was talking with a salesman, he said that he couldn't find a unit of 2x4 12s, and I found that pretty interesting. But talking to some of the other vendors, it looks like there's a run on 2x6 and 2x4. Entities, lumberyards, builders, there is a huge demand for those two sizes, and they're coming up in short supply. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys that update. Uneducated Economist, you guys let me know.